We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder as charged in count 1 of the indictment. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in count 2 of the indictment. And we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of convicted felon in possession of a firearm as charged in count 3 of the indictment.
Mr. Johnson, the jury having found you guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and convicted felon in possession of a firearm. As the 13th juror, I affirm this verdict. As to the first-degree murder, I sentence you to life in prison. I will set punishment as to the conspiracy and the convicted felon in possession of a firearm after a sentencing hearing.
And then y'all are going to get on the expressway.
Yeah, we finna get on the expressway on Airways.
Okay. But when this is Airways that we see.
It is Airways.
Okay. What happens once y'all get to Airways?
We at the light. Y'all can come clean across the light.
How'd y'all know it was Dolph?
Everybody knows, had Kai on T cars.
Yeah. People in Memphis knew about that rap, right?
Yeah.
That camouflage white and green and blue rap. That surprised you? See him like that?
Yeah.
Did you say anything or did Justin say anything?
You like, there go Dolph, right?
All right, what'd y'all do?
You can see the trailer. The trailer.
So y'all are following him on Airways?
Yeah, right over the shirt.
The clip starts with a voice investigators never expected to hear say something that bold. A man sits in an interrogation room, hoodie on, leaning back in his chair. A detective presses play on a blurry video. The room freezes. That moment sent Memphis into a spiral, because this wasn't some random dude bragging for clout. This was one of the men accused of being part of the hit that took young Dolph's life, admitting on tape that he knew exactly what happened. And he didn't stop there. He hinted at a plan bigger than anybody expected, a payout that reached 6 figures, and a name that's been tied to the situation for years. Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook. The streets heard that audio and lost their minds. Rumors turned into theories turned into debates, and that single clip flipped the energy around the entire case. Because once someone talks, even a little, everybody else starts scrambling. Young Dolph's murder wasn't the kind of incident the city could sweep away. Memphis is a place where loyalty matters, where reputations can't be faked, and where tragedy doesn't disappear quietly. And on November 17th, 2021, the city learned just how serious this beef really was. It was a normal day for Dolph. He pulled up to Makita's homemade butter cookies, a spot he hit often. No entourage, no security detail blocking the door, just a quick stop to support a local business. 2 men in a white Mercedes pulled up, jumped out with rifles, and fired 22 rounds through the windows. Broad daylight, middle of the week, no mask strong enough to hide the intent. 22 shots wasn't about sending a warning, it was wiping out a target. It was making sure the job got done. And the moment the shooters sped off, the entire city felt the hit. Not because Dolph was a celebrity, but because he represented something Memphis doesn't get often. A man who made it out, stayed independent, and kept pouring back into his people. Detectives didn't waste time. Within months, they arrested 4 suspects: Straight Drop, Cornelius Smith, Hernandez Govan, and Jamarcus Johnson. Publicly, they were labeled the shooters, the organizer, and the getaway helper. Privately, investigators believed something bigger was behind them. Somebody with influence, money, and a motive. The problem was proving who that somebody actually was. To understand how this turned into a conspiracy, you have to rewind. Years before that clip leaked, Dolph and Yo Gotti were locked in one of the ugliest back and forths in Memphis rap history. And this wasn't just about music, it wasn't petty competition. This was personal. Dolph built his career without signing to anybody's label. He ran Paper Route Empire like it was a family business, not an industry machine. Yo Gotti, already established and respected in the city, reportedly tried to sign him early on. Depending on who tells the story, the deal fell apart fast. Dolph said he wasn't interested in being under anyone. He didn't want to give up control. He didn't want to be somebody's artist. And that rejection, according to Dolph, changed everything. Suddenly, someone who once showed him love turned into someone taking shots at him. Dolph made it public. posted about it, talked about it. And once rap fans choose sides, the tension takes on a life of its own. In 2016, Dolph dropped King of Memphis, a title people in the city didn't take lightly. Then came Play with Yo Abuat, a diss so direct that everybody knew it crossed a line you can't uncross. He teased personal details. He mocked. He challenged someone who wasn't just a rapper, but a figure with deep street loyalty. Once a beef hits that level, the crowd gets involved. People egg it on. Fans hype the disrespect. Songs go viral, and while the internet laughs, the streets react. And that's when bullets started flying. The first attempt happened in Charlotte during CIA weekend in 2017. 100 rounds were sprayed at Dolph's truck. 100. The only reason he lived was because his truck was armored. The second attempt came months later in Los Angeles. This time he got hit. Multiple rounds, critical condition, almost died. And each incident made the beef look less like rap and more like war. When you stack all that history next to what happened into one, everything points to something deeper than a random act. It suggests planning, motivation, and a long grudge that never cooled off. By 2024, Justin Straight Drop Johnson's trial finally started. The courtroom was packed. Reporters, bloggers, fans, everybody waiting to hear the truth. Prosecutors laid out surveillance footage, phone data, ballistics, and text messages. But the moment that shook the room the most wasn't from the detectives. It came from inside the group. Cornelius Smith flipped, became a witness. His testimony stunned the entire city. He said the hit was ordered. Not by some random enemy, not by street beef gone wrong, but by Big Jook, Yo Gotti's older brother. Smith claimed the bounty was $100,000, $40 for each shooter, $20 for the organizer, Hernandez Govan. He said they had meetings, plans, conversations about how to pull it off, and after the murder, he claimed they FaceTimed Big Jook to confirm it was done. Then he added another detail. Someone tied to CMG allegedly paid $50,000 toward his legal fees after he got arrested. If true, that means someone didn't just order the hit. They supported the cleanup. Smith admitted something else too. He never got the money he was promised. Instead of $40,000, he got $800. That part made the story even stranger. Why would someone order a high-level hit, boast a six-figure payout, then hand out pocket change to the shooters? Either the money was never real, he was lied to, or the operation was more chaotic than people assumed. Defense attorneys argued he was lying to save himself. They said he'd say anything for a deal. They pointed out contradictions. They brought up a letter where Smith supposedly admitted he'd talk if it kept him out of prison for life. But the jury believed enough of his story to convict Straight Drop. He got life plus 50 years. Still, Smith's testimony didn't end the debate. It made it worse. Because if Big Jook really ordered it, who else knew? And if he didn't, why did someone point the finger at him so hard? Then something happened that changed the entire energy around the case. Big Jook got killed, January 2024. Bright afternoon. Outside a Memphis restaurant during a repass. Multiple shots fired, another man hit. A tragedy witnessed by family members. And no suspects were arrested. People online instantly tied it to Dolph's murder. They said it was retaliation. They said it was street justice. Nobody could prove it. But timing matters. And the timing of Jook's death gave fuel to every rumor floating around Memphis. But it also removed what could have been the most important piece of the puzzle. If he really did put money on Dolph's head, he's gone. He can't defend himself. He can't explain. He can't name people above him or clear them. If he didn't do any of it, the truth may have died with him. That's the part that frustrates everyone watching this case. There are answers out there, but some of them may never come out. Other names got pulled into the conversation too. Black Youngsta, CMG affiliates, lawyers who once represented Gotti. Old connections suddenly looked suspicious, even if they meant nothing. When police arrested Straight Drop and Cornelius Smith, fans noticed that the lawyer who once represented Gotti and Youngsta appeared briefly connected to the case. He denied CMG involvement, dropped the suspects as clients. But the association added gasoline to online theories. Even now, Yo Gotti has never been charged, never been named by investigators as a suspect, never been tied to the murder plot in any official capacity. But once street rumors take root, people don't let go. The unanswered questions make this case harder to close than people expected. Why was the hit supposedly $100,000, but the shooter only received $800? Why pay tens of thousands for legal fees but not pay the promised bounty? If Jook acted alone, why didn't he communicate with anyone else in seeing? If he wasn't involved, why did Smith point so aggressively in his direction? And maybe the biggest question, who benefits from young Dolph being gone? Every theory leads somewhere different. Money, revenge, pride, loyalty, street reputation, business. But nothing has been confirmed enough to give closure. Memphis still hurts from this. Young Dolph wasn't just a talented rapper. He was a boss who paved his own lane, gave back, employed his people, handed out turkeys on holidays, returned to the neighborhood he grew up in because he didn't want to be one of those stars who vanished after fame hit. His kids lost their father, his label lost its leader, his community lost someone who showed them independence wasn't a fantasy. On the other side, Big Jook's family lost a father, a brother, a loved one. Straight Drop lost his life to the prison system. Cornelius Smith may never breathe air outside those walls again. Entire families shattered, dreams destroyed, and for what? Ego? Territory? Old wounds? A rap beef pushed to the point of no return? People love instigating online, hyping up conflict in the comments, sharing memes, choosing sides. But when the shots start flying in real life, the same people fall silent because the game stops being entertainment the moment blood hits the pavement. The truth about who ordered the hit may come out one day, or it might remain one of those stories Memphis whispers about for decades. But one thing is clear, Dolph's murder wasn't random. It wasn't sloppy. It wasn't just a disagreement that spun out of control. It was a chain reaction built over years, fueled by pride, fueled by disrespect, fueled by a rivalry that grew into something nobody could stop. And even now, after trials, testimonies, leaks, retaliation, and unanswered questions, the story still isn't finished. If you want more untold breakdowns like this, go ahead and click one of the videos on your screen. There's a lot more we need to talk about.